Thank you for joining us. My name is Joe Carr, and I'm happy to welcome you to the Providence College podcast. Our guest today is Isabel Ortiz, a PC junior who's majoring in psychology. We talked with Isabel about the natural disaster that devastated her native Puerto Rico last year and the impact that lingers today. In that context, we also discussed the ways in which the PC community rallied to provide support. As we begin today, I'd like to remind you that Friars Give, PC's annual giving day, is Thursday, April 5th. If you're an alum, student, faculty member, or staff member, please keep an eye on your email for reminders about how you might participate. More information about the 3,989 reasons to participate is available at friarsgive.org. We began our talk with Isabel about her pathway to PC. Isabel, tell us about what it is that caught your eye about Providence College and how you made your way here from Puerto Rico.
Well, my aunt, she lives in Massachusetts, and every 2 years I will go over the summer and stay with her in Massachusetts. And I went to Providence a few times, and then when I was applying for college, I applied for PC because my aunt was like, "Oh, you should apply PC. It's such a great school, and I don't know, Providence. You love Providence. You should come over here." So I applied. I was like, "Oh, okay," and I just ended up here. I came for the night in Friartown in April. It was accepted students, and the activity was really fun. And they gave me a tour of the PC campus, and I fell in love. I was like, "Oh wow, this is really cool, beautiful," and so I came here and I'm loving it right now.
Almost 3 years later, you're still here and doing well. You've been involved in a lot of things as a student. You've had some internships. You're a psychology major, aspiring to a career in psychology. So a lot going on with you. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your homeland, Puerto Rico, and the terrible hurricane that went through there in September that wreaked such devastation. Yes. Tell us about your family. It was only fairly recently that their electric power came back, right?
Yes. They were, I think February 1st, it's when in my house we got electricity back. And they were, and I think almost a month in my house we didn't have water. And my parents were living with my grandma in her house, so they could all be together. And they were, let's say, from September 28th, I think it was, until January 8th, living without electricity. And I was actually there when the electricity came back. I was there for Christmas break, and we were so happy. So I was there for let's say 3 weeks with electricity. It was you get used to it after a while, but after a few weeks you're oh, okay, it can come back, but you get used to it. And right now the island, a lot of people have already gotten their power back, but there's still a lot of people still don't have, and people have been very affected by the hurricane, and a lot of places have closed. A lot of people were unemployed for extra time. But things are, getting back together. A lot of support has been given to Puerto Rico.
Sure, but still the long-term impact is really something that needs to be considered, because there are businesses that will never be able to open again, right?
Yeah, there's some businesses that just closed. Yeah, when I went back, there's a few stores that they just had closed after the hurricane. Yeah.
Tell me about the part of Puerto Rico you live in, rural, urban. What's it like around where you grew up?
Well, I live in the metropolitan area, but where I live is right where the mountain stuff, the rural area starts. So that's why it took us a little bit longer than other people to get power back. Where I live, it wasn't affected physically too much, but there's so many trees, so many power posts. Is that how you say electricity?
Sure.
There so many fell, and when I went back, it was very a drastic change. The scenery was very different. But luckily where I was, there wasn't any destruction as in buildings and stuff like that. But in other places, in the rural areas, a lot of people lost their homes. I have a friend that she lost her house. She had a wooden house, because most of the houses in Puerto Rico are made out of concrete. So it's for hurricanes, it'll be a better foundation. But a lot of people lost their houses. There was a lot of flooding, and like when I went back in December, like it was very different. Like some signs were like they had been like pushed like all the way, like all around. It was like wait, that's the sign is like it's not upside down, but like facing like the other way, or they were like like huge signs completely down. And I don't know.
I'm struck by the spirit of the people of Puerto Rico who have been through such a terrible thing. In fact, you exemplify it because you say, well, you kind of get used to it and being without power for months, and that's a difficult thing for many of us to comprehend. But there is something going on there, and has been going on with the people who are rallying to get their lives back together and determined to get back to where they need to be and want to be. It's really remarkable.
It was
what do you see?
A very traumatic experience. Like my brother tells me, like I wasn't there for the hurricane. I was over here studying, but the whole it was like very like psychologically like really affected people. Like some people just couldn't they got their patient. They didn't have the patience to like wait, and people that like they lost a lot of things, and it really like affected the island people.
Sure. We're talking with Isabel Ortiz, a PC junior from Puerto Rico, sharing her personal story about the impact of the hurricane from last fall on her homeland. And one thing we'd like to get to, Isabel, is the way that the PC community responded to you. And by the way, we have quite a few students from Puerto Rico, so you're part of a community within our community. But there was a pretty quick and in some ways impressive response from the PC community to try to help out. Can you tell us about what you experienced?
Yes, I think it was like a week right after the hurricane. We had like an activity in front of the suites, the lawn in front of, how do you say the suites?
Suites? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in front of yeah. We had PC helped us coordinate this activity. It was a concert, and there was like food provided. And a lot of students went, and they donated some money that we could send out to other foundations in Puerto Rico to help people get their lives back together and provide food also and other supplies. And the activity was amazing. So many students came, and we were able to send a lot of money to Puerto Rico, and it was just a very great help. And also, PC also helped us get some T-shirts that in the back it has the flag of Puerto Rico. It's Friars with Puerto Rico, and it says that. And we also sold a few of those shirts that students wanted to buy, and that money was also donated to Puerto Rico.
What did people, let's focus on other students, what kinds of things did they say to you? Did strangers come up and approach you and offer support and kind words and encouragement?
Yes. And so many students went to this activity. I was like, wow, these people are really nice people. And we also had a lemonade stand in this activity. And I think the lemonades were $1, and many people would just give $20 for one glass of lemonade, one cup of lemonade. People are very generous because in their intentions were really, really great, really nice.
We're fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of nice people around here, aren't we? So
yes.
It really shows when there's an event like this or something serious that comes up. And we also have within this college community, of course, a robust financial aid program, which includes something called the Angel Fund, which was established a few years ago to provide financial support to students whose families encounter unexpected hardships of various kinds. It can be the loss of a job or an illness in a family or a natural disaster. And in this case, the Angel Fund was applied to providing assistance to you and other students from Puerto Rico. To the extent you're comfortable talking about that, can you share how that worked and what kind of value that had to you and your family?
Yeah, my family and I, we are really, really thankful for the Angel Fund. Really helped us after the hurricane. My dad and my mom weren't able to work. My dad couldn't work for a few weeks, I'd say almost 3 weeks. And my mom didn't start working until January. And the Angel Fund helped me last semester and is helping me this semester with my tuition. And we're just really thankful for this.
And that's made possible by donors who contribute to it.
Yes.
It's an element of this community, isn't it, that people give back and try to stay involved in important ways. So tell us about your family now. Your parents are both back. Tell us what your parents do for work.
My dad works in a store that sells auto parts, and my mom works in H&R Block. She does taxes.
Tax preparation?
Yes, exactly.
Good,
yes.
Good. Mm-hmm. And you have a brother who's bound for medical school?
Yes, my brother. Yeah, he's 23. Yeah, 23. And he's starting med school next fall.
Where will he attend medical school?
He's going to go into the University of Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico.
He's not sure which one yet, but he already got accepted to 3 of them. So he's like, okay, I'm going to med school. I'm very happy, yeah.
Oh, that's great and exciting. And in terms of your own aspirations, we talked about it a little bit before we started recording this podcast. You have some ideas, not maybe completely firmed up yet, but what are you thinking about with respect to your career?
I'm thinking of going to grad school, or like right after I graduate. I'm not really sure what exactly I want to specialize in. I know I want to study psychology, maybe do clinical psychology, but I'm not sure. I still want to do like more internships and to be sure what I want to do. And probably I don't know, something in psychology. I don't know.
In psychology?
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And the internships I had, it's been a great experience.
It's interesting time to be here. You are a psychology major at the 50th anniversary of the development of the psychology department at Providence College. So kind of an interesting milestone and some events coming up associated with that. And we'll be talking about those on the podcast as this semester continues. But certainly for a long time, the psychology department's been a big part of things here at PC, and it's a terrific major. And a lot of people have had great success. And one of the hallmarks of programs like that, many programs at PC right now, is internships, and you've taken advantage of those opportunities to some extent too. What have you done with respect to internships? Last
semester, I had an internship in Butler Hospital. It was also funded by Brown University. It was really a very interesting topic. It was how exercise can help people with depression and smoking addictions. And so I got to go to Butler Hospital 2 times a week, and I don't know, it was a great experience. I learned a lot, and I'm trying to see if I can do another internship this summer over here in Providence or in Boston.
Lots of opportunities, I'm sure. And
yes. I'm thinking of doing some lab research for the next fall and see if I talk with a professor.
Oh, laboratory research. Oh, that would be a nice complement to the other kind of experiences you've had. Yeah. So what other kinds of things are you involved in as a student besides your work and schoolwork and things beyond that? What else do you do?
I work in the package room here in PC. I just started working last semester, and I'm also in the Psychology Honor Society. I joined the Children's Outreach group or club that goes to elementary schools and plays with kids. And I joined the hair care club, and you're pretty busy.
There's a lot of things going on. So you came to PC almost 3 full years ago now with, it's a long way from home and a different kind of environment, although you had the connection through your family with Massachusetts. Has been all you hoped it would be? And
I think it's been I love it here. The best decision was coming here, studying over here. I don't know, I love it here.
With respect to your native Puerto Rico, we've been talking about that a lot. When you go back during the summers, do you have...
Yes, I always go back during the summers and Christmas time. I actually went back for spring break for a few days. Yeah, I do miss home a lot. I do miss, yes.
Any plans maybe to go back there eventually? What are your thoughts about the long term?
I don't know yet. I think I might stay for if I do grad school, I might stay in the area. And I don't know, wherever I get a job, I guess this is where I'll be, honestly. But I'll always go. If I do stay here in the States, I will always go back to Puerto Rico, see my family. And it's it's where I'm from. I love Puerto Rico. It's a beautiful island.
And we touched on this before, but I'd like to hear a little bit more about it. There is a significant number of students, Providence College students, who are from Puerto Rico. Tell us a little bit about that group and that community. People, did any come from the same part of Puerto Rico as you? Did you know some of them before you got here? I
didn't know any of them before I got to PC over here. Actually, I I'm roommates with 3 other girls from Puerto Rico.
Oh.
And we all live like very close by. Actually, I didn't know them before, but like we all like live like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from each other. But my roommate actually, we noticed this like months after like we met here. We went to camp together when we were like 10. And
Isn't that funny?
like, yeah. And right now we're juniors. We're like 8, I think, or 10. Mm-hmm. And freshmen, there's like 15 almost. And we are like a very like great community. Like we all like know each other. Was
there value in having that community when the hurricane hit?
Yes.
How did that work? Did you
we all got together. Yeah, in the activity I was telling you about, we all got together. We all like helped organize this. And we were in those times, like we couldn't communicate with our parents because there wasn't any like phone service. So people like my roommates didn't know about anything about their parents for like days after the hurricane. Like they were just scared. I only knew because of my mother. They have like a land phone. That's the only way I could like communicate with her. And it was only when I called her. She could not call me. Like the phone, like trying to communicate, you couldn't like for like weeks.
So you were able to provide support for each other.
Yes, I was like, oh, like she lives like 10 minutes away. Don't worry, she must be okay. Like, don't worry. But like, we were like very scared over here. At least we were like together because we were like all going through like the same thing. So it was like nice to like have other people who are like in like the similar situations as you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there's still a long way to go in Puerto Rico. We can't act like this is over and fixed, can we? Because there's still tremendous devastation.
Yes.
What kinds of things did you see when you returned most recently?
Well, you know, the economy before the hurricane wasn't that good in Puerto Rico. So imagine now, like right now, it isn't like even as it was before. It's been like it isn't like really good right now. Like we're like struggling, like financially, and like still like people like what I say, like trying to like put things how they were like before the hurricane, like in structures and stuff.
Sure. Well, it's a beautiful place, and certainly your pride in your home shows through in the way that you talk about it. And we'll certainly hope that good things happen there soon, and that things continue to move in the right direction, but maybe even more quickly, right? So that everybody can get back where they need to be and that they want to be. Well, Isabel, thanks so much for sharing your story with us and for telling us more about what things are like still in Puerto Rico and about the great spirit of the people of that island and the way that they're working through dealing with this and working toward recovery. I'd like to remind you one more time that Friars Give, PC's annual giving day, is on Thursday, April 5th. If you're an alum, student, faculty member, or staff member, please keep an eye on your email for reminders about how you might participate. And remember Isabel's story and about how the Angel Fund helped her and her family deal with this tragedy. And the Angel Fund is successful because of the participation and engagement of our alumni and so many others who care about PC and its students. More information about the 3,989 reasons to participate in Friars Give is available at friarsgive.org. Thank you for joining us today. You can subscribe to the Providence College podcast at all the usual places, and they're available on the college's YouTube channel. Feedback is welcome at podcast@providence.edu. Thanks to our producer, Chris Judge. I'm Joe Carr. Until next time.